All right, and we are live. Okay, magandang gabi po, teachers. Kamusta po kayo? Okay, tonight I welcome you all sa ating pang-anim na session. Okay? Um, Hopefully, no? So we'll try to do our best na matatapos po natin yung lahat ng ating sessions bago po tayo magkakaroon ng ating pangalawang summative examination. And of course, as a reminders po, magkakaroon po tayo ng pre-board examination sa March 16, 2025. Ito po ay libre lamang. And of course, we also have our final coaching on March 17 to 19 po. Okay? Tatlong araw po yan na pag-rationalize po no, ng mga questions na kinover po natin no, during our pre-board examination. So I just hope no teachers na puspusan na po yung pag-aaral nyo, yung preparation nyo po para sa inyong papalapit board examination. Kamusta po ba kayo? Pakilapag po sa ating comment sections. Mga ilang percent na po ba kayong ready? Yes, magandang gabi po, Sir Donel Latore, good evening po. Sir, Ma'am Yobi Villaflor, magandang gabi din po. Ma'am Ana Marie, good evening po. Yes po, ito po ay recorded po yung ating pre-board, yung ating final coaching. And of course, ipopost po natin yan sa ating private group. Okay? Kasi nga po, masyadong sensitive po yung mga tanong na ilalagay po natin doon. So, iwas issue na rin po. Okay? So, doon po tayo sa ating private group. Kaya for those na may kakilala pa kayo dyan na hindi pa po kabilang sa ating private group or sa ating mga community chats, invite na po natin, okay? Para makapag-avail naman po sila. Mga 30% pa lang. O bakit naman 30%? Okay, so I just hope no eventually madagdagan po yung ating preparation for our upcoming board examination. So I assume no yung iba sa atin ay mga 70%, 75 or 80%, even 90% na pong ready sa ating board examination. Okay, so without further ado, I welcome you all sa ating pang-anim na session tonight. Of course, ito po yung major tips no, na ibibigay ko po sa inyo on how to ace our licensure examination for professional teachers, but especially that we are TLTVED majors, medyo napakalawak po yung ating majorship. Okay, masyadong marami pong areas na dapat nating i-master. So unang-una po, in order for us to ace the board examination, especially our majorship, is to master the fundamentals. Okay, kabilang na din po dito yung pag-discover. Okay, dapat alamin po natin ano po ba yung mga learning styles na akma po para sa atin. Okay, we have to master the fundamentals. At least may basic ideas po tayo or yung mga fundamentals lamang po sa bawat areas ng ating majorship. Yung pangalawa naman po is to improve your test taking skills. Okay, I encourage you teachers na at least sagot-sagot po tayo no, ng 50 to 100 items per day. Okay, eventually madidevelop po yung inyong and may improve po yung test taking skills ninyo. Okay, mag-highlight po kayo, mag-underline po kayo, and of course you spot the right keywords po sa stem ng ating mga tanong. Okay, so mostly po yung mga sagot ay nandun sa stem na po mismo ng tanong. And of course, lastly here is to pray. Okay, humingi po tayo ng guidance and provision from above. Okay, dahil siya lang po yung nakakaalam na dapat para sa atin. Okay? Yes, magandang gabi po sa lahat. Okay, so without further ado, I welcome you all sa ating pang-anim na session and yung focus natin tonight ay yung tatlo, yung electricity po, yung electronics, at saka yung rack or yung refrigeration and air conditioning. Okay? So let's start here. We go to item number one. Okay, magsagot lang po kayo sa ating comment section. Don't forget po yung ating item at saka yung correct letter of our choice para hindi po hassle sa atin, no? At madidetermine po natin kung anong item tayo nagkamali o naligwa. Okay, so we go to item number one. What is the free flow or movement of electrons in a given conductor? Okay, free flow or movement of electrons in a given conductor? Is that A, electricity, letter B, power, letter C, electrons, or letter D, resistance? Ano po ba yung tamang sagot? Pakilapag po sa ating comment section. Ano po ba yung tamang sagot for item number one? Huwag pong mahiya kahit mag-block po tayo dito, wala pong problema. Okay, so I see a lot of letter A's. Tama po ba yung letter A? Electricity po ba? Mhm. Tama po ba yan? So let's reveal ang tamang sagot po dito for item number one ay walang iba kundi yung electricity. Okay, magdiwang po lahat na nagsagot ng letter A. Electricity po yung tamang sagot. Okay, tandaan po, electricity, it refers to the flow of electrons through a conductor, which is the primary mechanism po sa ating electrical current. So it involves po no yung movement po ng ating charged particles, especially po yung ating negative charge or yung electrons, okay, through materials like wires. Yung power naman po, ito po ay rate at which energy is transferred or converted. So ito po ay measured in watts. Okay? Yung unit of measurement po ng ating power ay watts. Yung electrons naman po, ito po ay particles that move to create electricity, di ba? Ito po ay composition ng ating atoms. Ito po yung negative charge, yung electrons. Yung letter distance, ito po ay opposition no, to the flow of current in a given conductor. Ito po ay nagre-resist o nag-limit po ng flow ng ating current in a given conductor. Okay, so we're looking for free flow or movement of electrons. So that would be letter A. Letter A po ang tamang sagot for item number one. Yes, tama po yung letter A. We go to item number two. Which of these allows the movement of electrons? Okay, allows the movement of electrons. Is that A, insulators, letter B, conductors, letter C, semiconductors, o letter D, source? Ano po ba yung tamang sagot? Pakilapag po sa ating comment section. What is your right choice here? I see a lot of letter B's. Tama po ba yung letter B? Please paki-share po ng ating live tonight para mas marami po tayong ano 'no, i-invite po natin yung mga friends natin. I see a lot of letter B. Tama po ba yung letter B? Okay, so let's reveal ang tamang sagot po dito ay walang iba kundi yung letter B, yung conductors po, okay? What about the rest of our options here? Pag sinabi nating insulators, ito yung nagre-resist no, ng flow of electrons, okay? Mga halimbawa po nito, yung mga rubbers natin, yung mga glass natin, okay? Yung wood, di ba? Yung mga drywood natin, insulators. Kumbaga, hindi po nila ina-allow yung movement ng electrons or yung electricity. So, ikis po yung insulators natin dito. Pag sinabi naman natin semiconductors, ito po yung materials, no, have electrical properties between conductors or insulators. So it's either na magiging conductors po siya or pwede din po siya mako-consider as insulator. Okay, ito po yung semiconductors. Pag sinabi naman nating source, ito po ay nagpo-provide ng electrical energy. Okay, yung halimbawa po nito, yung mga batteries natin, di ba? Yung mga generators natin yan, mako-consider po natin yan as source. Of course, we're looking here a type of material na nag-a-allow po ng movement of electrons or the flow of electricity. So that would be letter B, yung conductors po. Okay, sana nakuha po. Item number 2, conductors po yung tamang sagot. So halimbawa po ng mga conductors natin, yung mga metals, okay, yung mga gold natin, or even yung mga electrical conductors natin, yan po yung nag-a-allow ng movement ng ating electrons. Okay, so bago po tayo proceed ng item number 3, matanong ko lang po, ano po ba yung best conductor na mako-consider natin? Ano po ba? Is that copper or silver? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Copper or silver? Kapag po, ano po ba yung consider din as best conductor? Copper po ba o silver? May sumasagot na silver, meron ding copper. Alright, so at least may matutunan pa kayo, okay? Yung best conductor po na makukonsider natin ay walang iba kundi yung silver. Again, silver po yung best conductor. Kumbaga yung copper, ano naman, pwede naman siya, no? Pero yung best po talaga is yung silver. Pero kadalasan, ginagamit natin is yung copper. Kasi nga po, yung copper, may pagka medyo inexpensive po siya na compare sa ating silver. Kasi nga po, just imagine, if you're using silver, medyo may kamahalan po yan. Di po ba? Yes. Yung copper po, yun po yung common na ginagamit natin. While yung silver, yan po yung mako-consider natin as best conductor. Right? Sana nakuha. That's item number 2. We go to item number 3. Item number 3. There are 2 ways on how to harness an electricity. Okay, ways to harness an electricity. Which one requires the use of electric cells or battery? Is it A, electronic device, letter B, cables, letter C, mechanical, or letter D, chemical? Ano po ba yung tamang sagot? Pakilabag po. May dalawa tayong ways, no, paano natin makuha or makapag produce ng electricity, di ba? Makapag-harness tayo ng electricity. Ano po bang klaseng way kung saan nagre-require po, okay, gumagamit po tayo ng electric cells or batteries at any electronic devices? Letter B, cables, letter C, or letter D, chemical? I see a lot of letter D's. Tama po ba yung letter D? So let's reveal ang tamang sagot po for item number 3 ay walang iba kundi yung letter D, yung chemical po. Okay, what about the rest of our options here? Pag sinabi natin electronic devices, of course, ito po yung gumagamit mismo no, ng electricity but do not generate it. Kung nagre-rely sila no, on power sources like batteries or electrical outlets. Yung electronic devices, no, ito din po yung other words for loads. Okay, yung cables naman po, of course, yun po yung electrical conductors natin, yung mga wires, di ba? Ito po ay nag-transmit ng electricity, yan po yung cables. Pag sinabi natin mechanical, of course, dalawa po yan, di ba? 2 ways on how to harness an electricity. The first one would be mechanical. Pag sinabi natin mechanical, ito po yung pag-generate no, ng electricity through motion. Kumbaga gumagamit po tayo dito ng mga generators. Again, gumagamit po tayo ng mga generators dito, katulad po ng mga wind turbines natin or even po yung mga hydroelectric power. Okay? Kumbaga hindi po sila nagre-require ng batteries. Pag sinabi natin na gumagamit tayo mismo ng mga electric cells or battery, of course, we're talking about here chemical. Again, from chemical, it can convert po yan into electricity. So the best option for item number 3 ay walang iba kundi letter G, chemical po. Sana nakuha. We go to item number 4. which is not considered as renewable source? Is it A, coal, letter B, wind power, letter C, solar energy, or letter D, geothermal energy? Ano ba yung tamang sagot? We're looking for an exception here. Not considered as renewable energy. Is it A, coal, letter B, wind power, letter C, solar energy, o letter D, geothermal energy? Ano po ba yung tamang sagot? Kalapag po. I see a lot of letter A's. Tama po ba yung letter A? Okay, so let's reveal ang tamang sagot for item number 4 ay walang iba kundi yung letter A, yung coal po. Okay? Pag sinabi natin coal, ito po ay non-renewable, di ba? Non-renewable energy source. Kumaga, it is a fossil fuel formed over millions of years from decomposed plant matter and takes a long time to replenish. Okay? Kumbaga, burning coal also releases, no? Most especially for using coal right now, di ba? Ito po ay nagre-release ng mga pollutants. Nagko-contribute din po siya sa tinatawag natin na climate change, yan po yung coal. Pag sinabi natin wind power, ito po ay pag-generate po ng electricity, no? Using wind turbines. Okay, wind power, of course, yung source po niyan is from wind, di ba? Yung letter C naman, yung solar energy, ito po ay pagko-convert natin, no? O pag-generate po ng electricity coming from our sunlight. Okay, yan po yung solar energy. Yung letter D naman po, yung geothermal energy, of course, ito po yung pagka-harness natin, no, ng heat from the Earth's core to produce energy. Okay? Kumbaga, nagre-rely po tayo ng init, okay? Yung heat from underground. Yan po yung geothermal energy. Okay, geo means earth, all right? So we're looking for an exception for item number 4. So the best option here would be letter A, yung coal po. Sana nakuha? That's item number 4. We go to item number 5. This type of energy can be harnessed through any source of heat energy produced from non-fossil biological materials. Is it A, natural gas, letter B, nuclear source, letter C, solar energy, o letter D, biomass energy? Ano po ba yung tamang sagot? For item number 5, what is your correct choice? Kalapag po sa ating comment section, ano po ba yung tamang sagot? I see a lot of letter Ds. Tama po ba yung letter D? So let's check ang tamang sagot po dito ay walang iba kundi yung letter D, yung biomass energy po. Okay? Tandaan, yung biomass energy, ito po ay nagde-derive, no, from organic materials, katulad po ng ating wood, yung crop waste, and even po yung mga animal manure natin. No? Kumbaga, ito, yung mga materials na ito ay nagsastore po ng energy from the sun and can be burned. Okay? May process po siya ng combustion, di ba? Or converted into biofuels to generate heat and electricity without relying on fossil fuels. Kumbaga, renewable din po ito. Pag sinabi naman nating natural gas, ito po ay a fossil fuel, no? Hindi po siya nagde-derive from biological materials. Pag sinabi naman nating nuclear source, ito po ay gumagamit ng nuclear reactions, especially po yung fission, di ba? To generate energy, yan po yung nuclear. Pag sinabi naman nating solar, ito po ay comes directly from the sun. Okay? Sana nakuha po. We're looking for non-fossil biological materials, so that would be letter D, biomass energy. Ito po yung mga sources noon or consider po natin as source po ng ating biomass. Unang-una po is yung forestry crops and residues, di ba? Yung agriculture crops and residues. Kumbaga yung mga residues, okay, yung mga crops po galing from our field or sa ating mga farm, eh pwedeng-pwede din po no, ma-convert into energy. Yan po yung halimbawa ng ating biomass. Yung sewage po, di ba? Yung industrial residues, yung animal residues, of course, yung mga municipal solid wastes. Yan po yung mga sources of biomass energy. Okay, so na nakuha, that's item number 5. So the best option here would be letter D, biomass energy. We go to item number 6. A device that stores chemical energy. Okay, tandaan po again, during actual board exam, you spot the right keywords. Okay, hindi po pwede na yung keywords na pinili mo, mali din. So, probably, malaki po yung chance na mapipili mo din po yung maling sagot. Okay, you spot the right keywords there para mas ma-eliminate po ninyo yung mga distractors. Okay, stores chemical energy and converts it into electricity. Is it A, generator? Letter B, solar panels. Letter C, battery. O letter D, diode. Ano po yung tamang sagot for item number 6? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Lapag po sa ating comment section. Kahit maligwak po kayo, no? Kahit mali, it's okay. Wala pong problema. Ang daming sumasagot ng letter C, battery. Tama po ba yung battery? Alright, so let's reveal ang tamang sagot for item number 6. Walang iba kundi yung letter C, yung battery po. Okay? Tandaan po yung battery, ito po yung nagsostore ng chemical energy and kino-convert niya po yan no, into electricity or electrical energy no, through electrochemical reactions. Kumbaga, inside our battery, chemical reactions no, between the electrodes and the electrolyte generate a flow of electrons creating an electric current. Yan po yung ating battery, di ba? May presence of chemicals. Yan po ay example din po ng ating chemical way, di ba? On harnessing our electricity. Yung the rest of our options, pag sinabi nating generator, ito po ay convert or pag kukuha, pag-generate po ng electricity no, from mechanical energy into electrical energy, okay? Yung solar panels, of course, nagko-convert po siya ng sunlight, di ba? Tini-turn po yan into electricity. Yan po yung solar panels. Pag sinabi naman nating letter G, yung diode po, ito po ay semiconductor device, no? Na nag-allow po siya ng flow ng electricity but only in one direction. Yan po yung diode. Okay, sana nakuha. We're talking about here a device no, na nagsostore po ng chemical energy. So of course, our letter C, battery po yung tamang sagot. We go to item number 7. Which of the following best describes static electricity? Okay, tandaan din po no, yung mga best natin, yung mga exceptions, yung mga exact, okay? Be observant din po sa ating tanong. We're looking for best describes static electricity. It allows electricity to move alternately. Letter B, it moves freely in one direction. Letter C, it is an electricity at rest. Letter D, it is an electricity in motion. Ano po yung tamang sagot? Ano po yung tamang sagot for item number 7? Ang daming sumasagot ng letter C, static. Tama po ba yung letter C? So let's reveal ang tamang sagot for item number 7 ay walang iba kundi yung letter C. Ito po ay electricity at rest. No? Tandaan, pag sinabi nating static electricity, it refers to the buildup of electric charges on the surface of an object. So unlike current electricity, no, it does not flow continuously but remains stationary. Pag sinabi natin stationary, nagre-remain lang po siya. Okay? Hindi po siya electricity at motion. Okay? Yan po yung static electricity natin. Yung halimbawa nito, yung rubbing a balloon, di ba? Pag nira-rub po natin yung balon, yan po nagti-trigger po yan ng kapag nagkakaroon ng friction, no? Yan po yung halimbawa ng ating static. Pag, of course, yung brushing our hair, yan din po yung isa sa mga example ng ating static electricity. Of course, yung letter A natin dito, where hindi po ito static electricity, ito po ay halimbawa ng electric current, di ba? Ito po ay yung AC po natin or yung alternating current. Okay? Yung letter B naman po, it moves freely in one direction. Ito po ay yung DC or yung direct current. Okay? Yung letter D naman, it is an electricity in motion, hindi po ito yung static electricity. Kasi nga po yung static, stationary, or electricity at rest, yung letter D na niya, electricity in motion, ito po ay yung tinatawag natin na um, dynamic electricity or yung current, di ba? Electric current, yan po yung letter D. So of course, we're looking for static electricity, so that the best option here would be letter C, yung electricity at rest. Sana nakuha, that's item number 7. We go to item number 8. Which of the following, okay, same question din po, pero iba po yung hinahanap natin dito, okay? Which of the following best describes dynamic electricity? Okay, dynamic naman po. Is it A, it allows electricity to move alternately? Letter B, it moves freely in one direction. Letter C, it is an electricity at rest. O letter D, it is an electricity in motion. Ano po yung tamang sagot? Okay, na-mention ko na po. Ano po ba yung tamang sagot? For item number 8, I see a lot of letter D. Tama po ba yung letter D? Alright. So let's reveal ang tamang sagot po dito ay walang iba kundi yung letter D, okay? Ito po ay electricity in motion. Pag sinabi nating dynamic again, ito ay flow of electric charge. Kumbaga may presence po siya ng motion. Pag sinabi naman nating static means, ito po ay fixed or stationary, di ba? Yung letter C natin dito, yan po yung static. Pag sinabi nating electricity to move alternately, of course, we're talking about here alternating current or yung AC natin. Of course, yung letter B, ito po ay yung DC natin, no? Or yung direct current. Okay, sana nakuha. That's item number 8, dynamic electricity. Ito po ay electricity in motion. Sana nakuha. That's item number 8. Letter G po yung tamang sagot. We go to item number 9. A movement of electric charge in a forward and backward motion. Forward and backward motion. Is it A, direct current? Letter B, alternating current? Letter C, static? O letter D, dynamic? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Again, please put the number and of course the correct choice. Ang daming sumasagot ng letter B. Tama po ba yung letter B? Tama po ba yung alternating current natin? Okay, so let's reveal ang tamang sagot for item number 9 ay walang iba kundi yung letter B. Okay, magdiwang po lahat na nagsagot ng letter B. Ito po yung alternating current natin. Okay, tandaan po, pag sinabi nating alternating current or yung AC po natin, ito po ay characterized no, by the movement of electric charge that periodically reverses direction, okay, flowing forward and then backward in cycles. Kumbaga, ito po ay type of electricity no, na ginagamit natin in household power supplies. Yan po yung AC natin. Pag sinabi naman nating direct current, ito po ay movement ng ating electricity only in one direction. Again, pag sinabi natin direct current, only in one direction. Of course, yung static, ito po ay electricity at rest. Yung dynamic, ito po ay electricity in motion. Okay, sana nakuha po. That's item number 9. Letter B po yung tamang sagot. Okay, ito po sa ating illustration. Okay, based po sa ating illustration, ay mas spot po natin yung differences nita. Yung alternating current natin dito, yung magnitude niya po, di ba, nag-alternate, no, from above, okay, mapapailalim naman po, yan po yung ating alternating current. Pag naman ating direct current, of course, steady lang po siya, di ba? One direction lang po yung ating DC or yung direct current. Okay, sana nakuha po. Yung halimbawa po ng ating direct current, usually makikita po natin ito sa ating mga batteries. Okay, yan po yung ating DC. That's item number 9. Of course, letter B po yung tamang sagot, alternating current. We go to item number 10. It deals with the relationship, tandaan po, relationship, sana all may relationship between voltage, current in an ideal conductor. Is that A, Ohm's law? Letter B, circuit connections. Letter C, relativity concept. Or letter D, law of thermodynamics. Ano po yung tamang sagot? Item number 10, ano po yung tamang sagot? Pakilapag po sa ating comment section. What is your correct choice? I see a lot of letter A's. Tama po ba yung letter A? Alright. So let's reveal ang tamang sagot po dito for item number 10 ay walang iba kundi yung letter A, yung Ohm's Law po natin. Okay? Pag sinabi nating Ohm's Law, sorry. Pag sinabi nating Ohm's Law, ito po ang nagsistate no, na yung current natin through a conductor between two points is directly proportional po sa ating voltage. Okay? Again, yung current po natin ay directly proportional sa ating voltage. Pag sinabi naman nating relationship ng ating current no sa resistance, sila po ay inversely proportional. Again, inversely proportional po yung ating current sa ating resistance. Yung circuit connections, of course, ito po ay how electrical components are connected in a given circuit. Yan lang po yung connection lang po, di ba, ng ating circuit. Yung relativity concept, of course, ito po ay based on Einstein's theory of relativity. Of course, hindi rin po natin yan papasadahan. Kasi nga po, ay papaubahin na lang po natin yan sa science majors. Okay? Yung letter D naman, yung law of thermodynamics, of course, it deals with energy, heat, and work. Of course, hindi naman po siya related sa voltage and current. So we're looking for the best option here for item number 10. Walang iba kundi yung letter A, yung Ohm's law po. Again, Ohm's law po yung tamang sagot. Saan na nakuha? Okay, this time teachers, please buckle up. Dito na po tayo, dito na po papasok yung mga computations natin, no, with regard sa ating electricity. Okay, most especially po sa ating Ohm's law. This one. Ito po yung Ohm's law natin. Ito po yung mahiwagang triangle. Okay? Mahiwagang triangle, tandaan po, ito po yung sa ibabaw po, ito po yung volts. Okay? Oftentimes, of course, oftentimes it is denoted or represented by letter V. Okay, letter V or capital letter V or yung letter E. Yung capital letter E at saka yung capital letter yan po yung nagde-denote ng ating volts. Okay, of course, yung unit po ng ating unit measurement po ng ating volts ay yung voltage po, yan po yung volts. Of course, yung current naman natin, it is denoted by capital I. Of course, yung yung unit niya po is ampere o yung amps, di ba? R naman dito, ito po ay nagde-denote ng ating resistance or it is measured in ohms. Okay, tandaan po, unit po ng ating resistance, yan po yung ohms. Okay, so if we're talking about the formula, let's say for example, we're looking for voltage, diba? Paano natin masosolve yung ating voltage sa ating given circuit? Of course, tatakpan lang po natin yan. Okay, ito po, tuturuan ko pa kayo. Let's say if we're looking for voltage here, okay, ito po yung hinahanap natin. So, ang gagawin po natin is tatakpan po natin yung V and of course, yung matitira, yung I tsaka R. Okay? Kapag magkatabi po sa ibig sabihin po, you have to multiply. Again, yung formula po ng ating voltage is current times resistance. Again, current times resistance. Yan po natin yung current dito. Okay? And of course, the rest matitira po is yung V at R, di ba? Yung voltage at saka yung resistance. Of course, you have to divide, okay? I-divide mo po yung voltage mo sa iyong resistance. Yan po yung formula pag hinahanap po natin yung current. And of course, if we're looking for resistance, tatakpan din po no, yung R natin dito. And the rest, of course, yung matitira na lang is yung voltage at saka yung katulad din po ng formula po no sa ating current, i-divide din po yung voltage saka yung i-divide po yung current natin sa ating voltage. Of course, that's voltage per current. Okay? Tandaan po natin ito no. Baka lumabas po, usually basic naman po yung computation doon. So, is may dagdag kaalaman din na din po ito, okay? Voltage, of course, formula yan is current times resistance. Yung current po is equals to voltage divided by resistance. Yung resistance naman, of course, that's voltage over current. Okay, so nakuha, yan po yung ohms law natin. Of course, hindi mawawala yung ating given situation here. Item number 11. A technician is testing a resistor in a circuit and measures a current of ano po yung given yung current natin is 2 amps, okay? 2 amperes flowing through it. If the resistor has a value of 1 ohms or 10 ohms rather, what is the voltage across it? Okay? Yung resistor po or yung resistance natin is equivalent to 10 ohms. Okay? We're looking for voltage. Okay? Ano po yung formula ang gagamitin natin if we're looking for voltage? Pakilapag po, ano po yung tamang sagot for item number 11? Sige nga po. Ang daming sumasagot ng letter C, tama ba yung letter C? Meron din solutions. Tama po ba yan? So let's reveal for item number 11. Ang tamang sagot ko dito ay walang iba kundi yung letter C, yung 20 volts. Okay, that's very easy. Of course, we're looking for voltage. So all we have to do is to multiply. Okay, yung 2 amperes po natin. Okay, ito po yung ating solutions. Unang-una po, ililista po muna natin yung givens po. Ano po ba yung mga givens natin dito? So, yung current equivalent po siya into 2 amperes. Okay, yung resistance is 10 ohms. Okay, lista po muna natin. Of course, we're looking for voltage here, so we have to use this kind of formula. That's a voltage is equals to current times resistance, diba? So you just have to multiply 2 times 10 and that gives you 20 volts. Okay, that's very easy. Okay, yan po yung value ng ating voltage. So of course, the best option for item number 11, walang iba kundi letter C, yung 20 volts po. Mhm. Congratulations po sa lahat ng nakukuha. That's item number 11. We go to item number 12. A 24 volts, tandaan po, 24 volts battery is connected to a resistor and the measured current is 3 amperes or 3 amps. What is the resistance of the resistor? Okay, and ay nahanap po natin yung resistance dito, no? Is it A, 4 ohms? Letter B, 6 ohms. Letter C, 8 ohms. Letter D, 12 ohms. Ano po yung tamang sagot? For item number 12, what is your correct choice? Ano po ba yung tamang sagot? I see a lot of letter C, yes. Tama po ba yung letter C? Alright, hindi na po natin patagalin. The best option here, of course, would be letter C, yung 8 ohms po. Okay, ito po. Since we're looking for resistance, we have to use this formula. Okay, that's voltage divided by our current. Alright? Ito po yung ating solution dito. Okay, lista po muna natin. Ano po ba yung mga givens? Of course, yung volts po, that is 24 volts. Yung current natin is 3 amperes or 3 amps. So we have to use this formula. That's resistance is equals to voltage over current. Of course, all we have to do is to divide 24 divided by 3, and that gives us 8 ohms. Okay, so of course the correct option here would be letter C, yung 8 ohms po. Again, 8 ohms po for item number 12, letter C po. Congratulations. That's item number 12. We go to item number 13. A wire has a resistance of 5 ohms. Again, resistance of 5 ohms and a voltage of 15 volts. Okay, voltage 15 volts is applied across it. What is the current flowing through the wire? Okay, we're looking for current. Okay, is that A, 2 amps or 2 amperes? Letter B, 3 amps. Letter C, 4 amps or 5 amps? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Ang daming sumasagot ng letter B. Tama po ba yung letter B? Alright, so hindi na po natin patagalin. The best option here would be letter B, yung 3 amps po natin. Okay, ito po yung formula na gagamitin natin. Okay, ano po ba yung given? Okay, equivalent po ba yung voltage natin? Of course, 15 volts. Yung resistance po, that's 5 ohms. So we have to use this formula since we're looking for current. Okay, that's a voltage over resistance. Of course, substitute 15 divided by 5, and that gives us 3 divide lang po siya. And of course, the best option here for item number 13 ay walang iba kundi yung 3 amps po. Okay, letter B po yung tamang sagot. Ito, we go to item number 14. Ito medyo may pagkakomplikado po siya, no? Pero easy lang po ito. 14. A circuit consists of 12 volts battery, tandaan po, 12 volts battery connected in series. Okay, tandaan po, series po siya, no? With 3 resistors. Okay, ano po yung ano nila? Okay, we have 4 ohms, 6 ohms, at saka yung 2 ohms natin. What is the voltage drop? Again, we're looking for voltage drop across the 6 ohms resistor. Ano po yung tamang sagot? Is that A, 2 volts, letter B, 4 volts, letter C, 6 volts, or letter D, 8 volts? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Pakilapag po, what is your correct choice for item number 14? Fourteen, ang dami sumasagot ng letter C. Tama po ba yung letter C? Okay. Maraming sumasagot ng letter C. So let's reveal, ang tamang sagot po dito ay walang iba kundi yung letter C, yung 6 volts po. Again, 6 volts po yung tamang sagot. Okay, paano po nangyari yan? Tandaan po muna natin, may mga rules po tayo, no? Sa ating given circuit, mas especially po kapag naka-series po siya at saka naka-parallel. Alright? Tandaan po, let's remember the following rules. So, nang una, yung current natin kapag in series po siya, passing through one load remains the same. Tandaan po, sa bawat load, okay, na meron po tayo sa ating circuit, kumbaga, yung nagpa-pass through po na amperage dyan or yung ampere po is equivalent po sa ating current total or yung total current natin. Again, sa bawat po na load na meron po tayo sa ating circuit, yung nagpa-pass through po na ating current is equivalent po no sa ating total current. Yan po yung formula natin kapag we're looking for current in a series circuit. Again, series. Pag, of course, if we're looking for voltage here, okay, in series circuit po, there can be several different voltages. And then po, may mga different voltages po siya. Since a voltage drop, then po, voltage drop appears across each load. Kumbaga, may mga voltage drop po na nangyayari po no, sa kada load na mayroon po tayo sa ating series circuit. Kumbaga, yung total voltage natin in a series circuit is equal po. Okay, tandaan po, yung total voltage natin is equal po no sa sum. Okay, sum of all the individual voltage drops. Okay? Inad po natin lahat ng voltage drops na meron po tayo sa ating series circuit. That is equivalent po sa ating total voltage. Yan po yung formula natin if we're looking for voltage in a series circuit. And of course, yung total resistance natin, if we're talking about series circuit here, of course, katulad din po na sa ating total voltage, no? Equal din po, no? Yung sum of all individual resistances, okay, within the circuit. Kapag in-add mo po lahat, okay, in series circuit, again, you just have to add all the resistors or the resistance there. And that is equivalent po no sa ating total resistance. Okay, ito din po yung formula na gagamitin natin. Okay, of course, so, paano po natin ma-solve yung item number 14? Unang-una po, yung step 1 natin dito, hahanapin po muna natin yung total resistance. Again, since wala pa po tayong total resistance there, of course, we have to solve it po muna. Okay? Since the resistors po are in series, yung total resistance is the sum of all resistances. Kumbaga, i-add lang po natin. Okay? Ano po ba yung sum niya? Yan po yung ating total resistance. Of course, yung R1 natin, ano po ba yung given niya? That's 4 ohms. Yung R2 naman po is equivalent to 6 ohms. Okay, ito po yung R2 natin. And of course, yung R3 natin, that is equivalent to 2 ohms. Okay? I-add lang po natin yung tatlong resistors na yan or yung tatlong resistance. And that gives us 12 ohms. Okay? Kinakailangan po na i-solve po muna natin yung total resistance bago po tayo, no? Or para ma-solve po natin yung total current natin. Okay? Yung step 2, of course, is to find the total current. Okay? Hanapin po natin yung current total or yung total current natin sa ating circuit. So, of course, we have to use this formula, di ba? Ohm's law din po. Yung total current natin, that gives us total voltage over total resistance. Okay? V over R. Same lang po yan. Okay, ano po ba yung total voltage natin? Kanina, that gives us 12, di ba? 12 po yung ating given po no sa ating voltage. Ito po siya, 12 volts. And of course, yung ating total resistance, ilan po ba? That's 12. Okay? All we have to do is to divide lang, di ba? Ohm's law din po again. 12 divided by 12, and that gives us 1 amps, okay? Or 1 ampere. Okay, yan po yung total current natin. And of course, we go to our step 3 here. Pwedeng-pwede na po natin i-solve po no, or makakalculate po natin yung ating voltage drop across po sa ating 6 ohms na resistor. Ito po siya, ito po yung R2 natin, okay? So of course, gagawin po natin dyan, lagay po natin, i-formula natin. Of course, similar din po no, sa ating triangle kanina, Ohm's law din po. If we're looking for voltage drop 2, most especially po we're looking for voltage drop given po sa ating resistance 2, kumbaga, lalagyan din po natin ng mga subs, no? Lagyan po natin ng sub 2 at saka sub 2 para iwas hassle po sa atin, no? Para mas easy po natin ma-determine. Of course, voltage drop 2, the equals to current 2 multiply po sa ating resistance 2. Okay? Of course, isa-substitute lang po natin ano po ba yung I2 natin. Tandaan, again, balik po tayo sa rule natin. Kapag series po, lahat po ng nagpa-pass through po no, na current dito sa bawat load na meron po tayo sa circuit ay equivalent lang po no, or equal lang po sa ating total current which is 1 amps. Okay? Of course, ilalagay lang po natin dyan, substitute, yung I2 po natin, ito po siya, 1 amp. Okay, lalagay lang po 1 amp. Multiply po natin sa ating resistor 2. Okay, yung R2 po natin which is 6, di ba? Okay, multiply lang po natin 1 times 6. Of course, that gives us 6 volts. Again, yung tamang sagot po dito, 6 volts po. Okay, multiply lang po natin. Ohm's law din po. Okay, Ohm's law lang po yung mabasihan natin dito. Isa na nakuha, of course, i-follow lang po natin. Screenshot po yung proseso na ito para mas mapag-aralan pa po natin. Alright? That's item number 4. Of course, letter C po yung tamang sagot. 6 volts po. Ito naman po, item number 15. In a parallel circuit, if the total voltage supplied is 12 volts, then po 12 volts in one of the resistors is 6 ohms. Okay? What is the voltage drop? Okay, again, we're looking for voltage drop here across the resistor. Is it A, 6 volts, letter B, 12 volts, letter C, 3 volts, o letter D, 0 volts? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Pakilabag, ano po yung tamang sagot for item number 15? Ang daming sumasagot ng letter B. Tama po ba yung letter B? O ba yung tamang sagot? I see a lot of letter B. Letter B is. Tama po ba yung letter B? So let's reveal ang tamang sagot po dito for item number 15 ay walang iba kundi yung letter B, yung 12 volts po, no? hindi na po natin kinakailangan na i-solve ito, okay? Tandaan na lang po natin yung rule po natin. Again, balik po tayo sa ating rules. Kapag we're talking about parallel circuit, again, if we're talking about parallel circuit, yung voltage drop po across, no, na nagpa-pass through po, no, or meron po sa bawat load sa ating parallel circuit, of course, equivalent po siya, no, or equal lang po sa ating total voltage. Kumbaga, yung formula dyan is this one. Again, it's a function. Kapag we're looking for voltage drop, of course, yung total voltage natin is equivalent lang po, no, or equal po sila. Okay, V1 equals to V2 equals to V3. Okay? Yan po yung ating formula if we're talking about parallel circuit. Of course, yung ating total voltage here, 12 volts. So obviously, based po sa ating rule, yung bawat voltage drop na mayroon po tayo sa ating resistor sa ating parallel circuit, equivalent lang po, no, sa ating total voltage. Of course, 12 volts din po yung voltage drop na mayroon tayo sa ating 6 ohms na resistor. Okay? Sana nakuha po. That's item number 15. Letter B po yung tamang sagot. Again, kung total voltage po natin, 12 volts. Okay? So, obviously, yung ating voltage drop po, no, sa ating bawat resistor sa ating parallel circuit, of course, that is equivalent to 12 volts din. Okay? Ito po. Mahirap kapag walang mouse. Okay? So, views, item number 15, letter B po yung tamang sagot. Okay? Mhm. Kanina po yung sa ating series circuit, yung equal po, no, sa ating total, yung most especially po if we're talking about series circuit, yung ating total current, 'di ba? Equivalent po siya, no, or equal po siya sa bawat current na nagpapass through po sa ating load sa ating circuit. Yan po yung ating total current sa ating series circuit. Of course, if we're talking about parallel circuit, yung ating formula po na gagamitin sa if we're looking for total current, so that would be total current is equals to, tandaan po natin yung mga rules na ito, no? Kasi medyo may pagka-confusing din po siya. That's I2 plus I3. Okay? Yan po yung formula na gagamitin natin kapag naka-parallel circuit po. Okay? Sana nakuha po. That's item number 15. Okay? Yung voltage po is equal din po, no, sa voltage drop na meron po tayo sa ating 6 ohms. Of course, letter B po yung tamang sagot. Of course, hindi mawawala yung mga contributors natin, no? Yung mga taong nagbigay, okay, ng mga contributions po sa ating electricity or in the field of electricity. Okay, sino-sino po ba sila? So, unang-una po, okay, unang-una po, we have here si William Gilbert. Again, si William Gilbert po, siya po yung scientist, no, and physician who is credited by many as the father of electricity and magnetism. Again, kapag tinanong po kayo, yung, kung sino po yung father of electricity and magnetism, ay walang iba kundi si William Gilbert. Okay? Of course, he was born on May 24, 1544 into an affluent family in Colchester, Essex. Gilbert attended Cambridge University where he earned, okay, a bachelor's degree in 1561. Okay, yan po yung si William Gilbert, no? Kumbaga, tandaan po natin, in 1600, he published the book De Magneti, di ba? De Magneti, which is a large volume, presented the results of his extensive research into the nature of magnetism and electricity. Okay, yan po si William Gilbert. Tandaan na lang po natin, father of electricity and magnetism, walang iba kundi si William Gilbert. Yan po yung itsura niya. Of course, hindi mawawala sa yung isa din po, no, sa kilala natin, no, na isa sa mga contributors sa electricity, ito po si Benjamin Franklin. Okay, on May 10, 1752, he flew a kite in a storm with a metal key attached to the string. When lightning struck, electricity traveled down the wet string, giving him a shock. Okay, This confirmed that lightning is electricity. He later invented the first lightning rod and installed it on his house to attract electricity. Okay, yan po yung si Benjamin Franklin. Nagkaroon po siya ng experiment. Okay, um, doon po niya napatunayan na yung lightning po ay may electricity din po. Okay, yan po si Benjamin Franklin. And of course, hindi mawawala yung tito ng bayan, si Nikola Tesla. Okay, he was an inventor who played a key role in developing the alternating current or yung AC electricity. Again, if we're talking about AC, of course, walang iba yung nag-develop niyan ay walang iba kundi si Nikola Tesla. Okay? Which is widely used today, di ba? So he also made significant contributions to electromagnetism. Hindi lang po sa AC, no? Nag-contribute din siya sa electromagnetism and wireless radio communication. So his most important contribution to energy history was the advancement of alternating current. Again, kapag tinanong po kayo, no, kung sino po yung mostly nag-contribute, no, about alternating current or yung AC, eh, sasagot po ninyo doon, eh, walang iba kundi si Nikola Tesla. Right? So beside po sa ating AC system, si Tesla po, no, tumulong din po siya sa pag-develop po ng generators and of course yung turbine design. Okay? Kumbaga yung, and of course, no, yung earliest demonstration, no, ng fluorescent lighting and was also his accomplishment. Yan po si Nikola Tesla. Sana all talented. Okay? Ang dami contributions nila. Of course, hindi ba mawawala, di ba, yung Ohm's Law natin. Of course, yung nag-contribute niyan or nag-develop niyan or nag-discover niyan, walang iba kundi si George Simon Ohms. Again, he was George Simon Ohms. He is a German physicist, no, who discovered and established the law, which he called the Ohm's Law. Tandaan po, Ohm's Law, George Simon Ohms, named after him, which states that the current flow through a conductor is directly proportional. Yung current po ay directly proportional po sa potential difference o yung tinatawag natin na voltage. And of course, inversely proportional naman po siya. Okay, kabaliktaran naman po kapag yung current natin, inversely proportional po siya sa resistance. Okay, sana nakuha po Ohm's Law, George Simon Ohms. I-screenshot po. Next one here. Alessandro Volta. Okay, hindi mawawala si Volta here. He invented the first electric battery, which people then called the voltaic pile. Again, kapag tinanong po kayo, no, about voltaic pile, of course, walang iba dyan. Kundi si Alessandro Volta po yung ang bida-bida natin dyan. Using his invention, scientists were able to produce steady flows of electric current for the first time, unleashing a wave of new discoveries and technologies. Okay, yan po si Alessandro Volta. Nagsulat din po siya no, ng first electromotive series. Okay, this showed from highest to lowest the voltages that different metals can produce in a battery. Kumbaga, in recognition po no, ni Alessandro Volta's contribution po sa science, eh yung unit of electric potential po is called the volt. Okay, yung 'di ba, yung voltage natin, yung unit of measurement yung 'di ba volts, it was named after him. Okay, yan po si Alessandro Volta. Next one here, si André Marie Ampère. Okay, he was a French physicist, of course, na all mo matatalino ito, physicist and mathematician who made the revolutionary discovery that a wire carrying electric current, okay, electric current naman po, okay, current naman po siya, can attract or repel another wire next to it that's also carrying electric current. Okay, kumbaga, he named the science of electrodynamics, now known as electromagnetism. Okay, his name endures in everyday life in ampere. Yung ano no, yung unit of yung current natin, 'di ba? Yung ampere. So it was named after him, of course. Next one here. We also have yung si James Watt, okay? He radically improved the steam engine, di ba? Kapag tinanong din po kayo about steam engine, of course, si unang-una po napapasok sa ating isip ay walang iba kundi si James Watt. Starting the Industrial Revolution, he continued to produce a stream of new ideas and inventions, which eventually resulted in an engine requiring 80% less fuel than earlier engines, okay? He invented po, no, yung mga high-pressure steam engines capable of even higher efficiencies, okay? But the technology of the time was not capable of operating them safely. So, siya din po yung nag-introduce, no, ng word horsepower to describe an engine's power output. So, kumbaga, ginagamit na po natin yung watts, no, to measure power. So, although yung engine power po natin is still often rated in horsepower or yung HP po. Okay, that's James Watt. And of course, we also have here si Gustav Kirchhoff. Again, Gustav Kirchhoff, siya po yung German physicist natin na best known, no, for developing Kirchhoff's law. Again, Kirchhoff's law, hindi rin po siya nagpatalo, no, sa kay George Simon Ohms. Meron din po siyang law, yung Kirchhoff's law po. Okay, which quantify the current and voltage in electrical circuits. Okay, yan po yung contribution ni Gustav Kirchhoff in the field of electricity. Next one here, Michael Faraday. He discovered the principles that lay behind two key instruments of applied electricity. Yung tinatawag po natin na electromagnetic induction, no? Which led to the transformers, and magnetoelectric induction, which led to the generator. Okay, Faraday is one of the most revered scientists in the 19th century. All right, tandaan po, paka-screenshot, that's Michael Faraday. Next one here, Joseph Henry. Okay, siya po ay American scientist, no? Who pioneered the strong practical electromagnets and built one of the first electromagnetic motors. Tandaan po, if we're looking for or if we're talking about electromagnetic motors, of course, hindi na po tayo lalayo. Si Joseph Henry na po yung sasagot natin. Okay? Of course, hindi din po mawawala, no, si Wilhelm Edward Weber. Okay? Okay, in 1846, he developed the electrodynamometer, okay, in which a current causes a coil suspended within another coil to turn when a current is passed through both. Okay, yan po yung contribution ni Wilhelm Weber in the field of electricity. Okay, electrodynamometer. Yan po yung kanyang kinintribute. Next one here, item number 16, of course. Okay, so let's try to make this fast. Medyo marami-rami pong yung nilagay ko po, no, sa aking presentation. So at least matatapos po natin ito bago po uh, at least 1 hour po, no, or 1 and 30 minutes. Item number 16 here. A type of energy of the Earth that can be harnessed from the Earth's natural heat associated with active volcanoes. Okay, harnessed from Earth's natural heat. Ano po ito? Is it A, solar, letter B, geothermal, letter C, wind, o letter D, hydropower? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Item number 16, what is your correct choice? Wala po ng signal po. Mm-hmm. Type of energy, no, na pwede po natin ma-harness, no, from the Earth's natural heat. Ano po ito? Is that A, solar, letter B, geothermal, letter C, wind, o letter D, hydropower? Ano po yung tamang sagot? I see a lot of letter B's. Tama po ba yung letter B? Alright, so let's reveal ang tamang sagot po dito ay walang iba kundi yung letter B po, yung geothermal energy natin. Okay? Pag sinabi po nating geothermal, of course, galing po yan sa heat, no, underground. Yan po, geothermal, geo means earth. Pag sinabi nating solar, of course, ito po ay directly come from the sunlight. Okay? That's letter A, solar. Pag sinabi naman nating wind, of course, ito po yung pag-generate natin ng electricity, no? With the aid or help po ng wind. Right? Yung letter D naman, yung hydropower, of course, ito po ay galing sa water, di ba? Nag-harness po tayo or nag-generate po tayo ng electricity coming from water, okay? From movement of water. Yan po yung hydropower with the help of hydro turbines natin dyan. Okay, that's item number 16. Letter B po yung tamang sagot. Okay, let's talk about yung mga sources po ng mga energy. Okay, unang-una po, may dalawang ways, di ba? As what I have mentioned kanina, unang-una po is we have here yung mechanical way. Okay, gumagamit po tayo ng mga generators. Again, gumagamit po tayo ng generators if we're talking about mechanical way. So, unang-una po dito is yung number one, yung geothermal energy. Ito po yung heat, no? Or heat energy stored within the Earth's interior. Okay, nag-generate po tayo ng electricity coming from the heat of the Earth. Yan po yung letter, yung number one. Yung number two naman, yung hydropower, ito po yung electricity no, generated using gravitational force. Tandaan po, gravitational force of falling or flowing water. Yan po yung hydropower. Pag sinabi naman natin solar, of course, directly from the sun, ito po ay considered no, as the cleanest. Tandaan po, cleanest and renewable source. Yan po yung solar energy. Pag sinabi naman natin wind power, ito naman po yung energy no, na hina-harness po natin from the movement of wind. Again, movement of wind, yan po yung wind power. Of course, mayroon din po tayo dito, yung number 5, yung coal, ito po ay fossil fuel, no? Kumbaga sila po ay non-renewable and primarily composed of carbon, right? Yung number 6 naman yung nuclear energy natin, ito po ay energy no, stored within atoms released through nuclear reactions. Okay, may mga fissions na tayo dyan, yan po yung nuclear energy. And of course, yung natural gas, ito po ay naturally occurring gaseous mixture of hydrocarbons, mainly methane. Okay? Pag tinanong po tayo, ano po ba yung methane? Ito po ay colorless. Tanan po, colorless, odorless, and of course, flammable gas. No? That's a major component of natural gas. Yan po yung methane. Pag sinabi nating biomass, of course, diniscuss na po natin ito kanina. Ito po ay heat energy no, generated from organic. Tanan po, organic non-fossil biological materials. Okay, from biological wastes, di ba? Yung mga ano natin dyan, yung mga residues coming from our agricultural fields or farms natin. Yan po yung halimbawa ng ating biomass. Alright, so na nakuha po, that's our mechanical way. And of course, we also have here yung chemical way. Okay, pag sinabi natin chemical, di ba? Chemical, ito ay gumagamit tayo ng cells or electric cells or batteries, okay, to produce electricity. So, unang-una po dyan, hindi mawawala, okay? Hindi, wag na po tayong lumayo, yung battery po natin. Ito po ay yung device natin, no? Na nagstostore po siya ng chemical energy and converts it into electricity. Again, yung in-istorya po noon yung chemical energy and of course, kino-convert po niya no, into electricity. Yan po yung battery. Of course, item number 17 here, which type of electronic components can function without an external power source? Again, ano po yung klaseng electronic components no, can function without an external, tanan po, without an external power source? Is it A, passive, letter B, active, letter C, defective, o letter D, damage? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Item number 17, what is your correct choice? Sumasagot ng letter A. Tama po ba yung letter A? Alright, so let's reveal ang tamang sagot for item number 17. Walang iba kundi yung letter A, yung passive po. Again, pag sinabi nating passive, ito po ay kayang-kaya niyang mag-operate no, without an external power source. Kumbaga, they do not amplify signals but instead store, filter, or dissipate energy. So examples po nito, yung mga resistors natin. Again, example po ng mga passive natin, yung resistor po, okay? Yung resistor, yung capacitors, and even po yung ating inductors. Yan po yung mga halimbawa ng ating passive components. Pag sinabi naman nating active or active components, ito po ay nagre-require ng external power. Okay, tandaan po passive without an external power, no? Hindi nila kinakailangan ng external power. Pag sinabi nating active components, ito po ay nagre-require na, okay, ng external power source, 'di ba? Yung para mag-function po sila, kinakailangan po nila ng external power, no? And of course, para maka-amplify ng signals or control current flows. Yung halimbawa po nito, yung transistors natin, and even po yung mga operational amplifiers, yan po yung ating active components. And of course, yung letter C natin dito, at saka yung letter D, ito po ay ikis na, okay? Synonymous din po yung letter C at saka letter D. Defective or damage, of course, it refers, no, to our faulty or non-functional components. Yan po yung letter C at saka letter D. Okay, isa na nakuha. Letter A po yung tamang sagot for item number 17. We go to item number 18 here. What are the essential building blocks? Tandaan po, building blocks used in electronic circuits. Is it A, electrical circuit? Letter B, insulators. Letter C, electronic components. O letter D, semiconductors. Ano po yung tamang sagot? Item number 18, building blocks po na ginagamit natin, no? Sa ating electronic circuits. Ano po ba yan? Is it A, electrical circuit? Letter B, insulators? Letter C, electronic components? O letter D, semiconductors? Ano po yung tamang sagot? I see letter C. Yes. Tama po ba yung letter C? Alright. So let's reveal ang tamang sagot po dito ay walang iba kundi yung letter C, yung electronic components po natin. Alright? And then po, electronic components, ito po yung mga fundamental, no? Building blocks of electronic circuits. This includes po yung ating mga resistors, yung capacitors, yung diodes po natin, transistors, and even po yung mga ICs natin or yung integrated circuits, okay? Which work together to process electrical signals and perform specific functions. Yan po yung letter C. Pag sinabi naman nating electrical circuit, of course, ito po yung complete path for electrical current. Yung insulators, of course, ito po ay na ano po, no? It does not or do not conduct electricity and are primarily used to prevent unwanted current flow. Yan po yung insulators. Yung semiconductors, of course, ito po yung klase ng mga materials, no, na ginagamit natin to create electronic components. Katulad po ng ating diodes po, tsaka yung transistors. Yan po yung semiconductors. Of course, while looking for building blocks, so the best option here would be letter C, yung electronic components. Sana nakuha. That's item number 18. Letter C po yung tamang sagot. We go to item number 19. Which of the following components is used to store electrical energy? Again, components po na ginagamit natin, no, to store electrical energy. Is it A, resistor? Letter B, diode? Letter C, inductor? O letter D, capacitor? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Item number 19. What is your correct choice? Okay, ang daming sumasagot ng letter G. Tama po ba yung letter G? Alright, tama po 'yan 'no. Like yan po yung, electronic component natin 'no, na ginagamit to store electrical energy. So, of course, letter D po yung tamang sagot. What about the rest of our options here? 'Pag sinabi nating resistor, of course, obviously, yung purpose niya is to resist 'no, or to limit the current flow. Yan po yung ating resistor. 'Pag sinabi nating, diode, ito po ay, ina-allow po niya yung current to flow but only in one direction. Again, one direction, yan po yung diode. Pag sinabi naman nating inductor, ito po ay pagsa-store ng energy, no, in the form of a magnetic field when current passes through them. Yan po yung inductor natin. Of course, yung itsura ng ating capacitor ay ito po siya. Okay, yung purpose po niya or yung main function po niya ay mag-store ng electrical energy. Of course, the best option here for item number 19 na walang iba kundi letter G. Magbugay po lahat na nasagot ng letter G. Okay, we go to item number 20. Which of the following can amplify or switch electronic signals? Tandaan po, amplify or switch electronic signals. Ano po ito? Is it A, resistor? Letter B, diode? Letter C, transistor? O letter D, capacitor? Ano po yung tamang sagot? For item number 20, what is your correct choice? I see a lot of letter C's. Tama po ba yung letter C? Alright, so let's reveal ang tamang sagot for item number 20. Walang iba kundi yung letter C, yung transistor po. Ito po yung itsura ng ating transistor. Tandaan, transistor, ito po yung electronic component natin, no, that can amplify signals. Okay? Kumbaga, nag-increase po siya ng strength or switch them on and off in circuits. Kumbaga, yung transistors natin are widely used in amplifiers. Okay? Makikita po siya natin, ginagamit siya natin, no, sa ating mga amplifiers, logic gates, and even po sa other electronic devices. Kumbaga, may mga parts po yan. Okay? May mga terminals po. May tatlo po siyang terminals. Yung unang-una po, yung letter, yung capital letter E natin, denoted po siya as our emitter. Okay? Ito po yung terminal, no, na nagre-release po or nag-emit ng charge carriers. Okay? Yun po yung electrons natin or yung holes. Alright? Usually, ito po ay heavily doped to provide a large number of charge carriers. Yan po yung ating emitter. Yung letter B, yung B naman natin dito, yan po yung base natin, okay? It stands for base. Ito po ay control terminal. Tandaan po, ito po ay control terminal na nagre-regulate po, no, ng flow of current between the emitter and collector. Kumbaga, ito po ay thin and lightly doped to allow efficient control. And of course, lastly here, yung letter C, yung capital letter C, ito po yung collector natin, no, sa ating transistor. Ito po yung klase ng terminal na nagko-collect po siya, no? Nagko-collect ng charge carriers from the emitter. Okay? Designed po siya, no, to handle most of the transistor's voltage and current. Kumbaga, yung tatlong terminals na ito, usually makikita natin, no, both in BJT or yung bipolar junction transistors natin, and even po sa ating mga FETs or yung field effect transistors. Okay? Pero yung mga functions nila ay nagba-vary po, no, slightly depending on the type. Tandaan po natin in our NPN transistor, yan po yung negative, positive, negative transistor natin. Kumbaga yung electrons, no, are the majority carriers. Tandaan po, electrons or yung negative charge natin, yan po yung majority kapag we're talking about yung PN transistor. And of course, if we're talking about PNP transistor, ito na ay yung holes naman or yung positive charge, yan naman po yung majority, no, or majority carriers in our PNP transistor. And of course, if we're talking about resistor, ito po yung naglilimit ng current flow. Yung diode, nag-allow po siya ng flow of electricity only in one direction. And yung capacitor, ito po yung ginagamit natin, no, to store and releases electrical energy. Pero hindi po siya designed for amplifying or switching electronic signals. So of course, we're looking for transistor here. So the best option would be letter C. 20, the best option here would be letter C. We go to item number 21. Which of the following resists the flow of electric current? Ano po, nagre-resist ng flow of electric current? Ano po ito? Is that A, resistor, letter B, diode, letter C, transistor, o letter D, capacitor? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Again, nagre-resist po siya ng flow of electric current in a given circuit. Ano po ito? Item number 21, what is your choice? I see a lot of letter A's. Tama po ba yung letter A? All right, so let's reveal for item number 21. The best option here would be letter A, yung resistor po. Again, 21 resistor po, di ba? Nagre-resist or nag-limit po, no, ng flow ng electric current. So the best option here would be letter A, yung resistor po. Again, yung resistor po natin, may mga color coding po yan. Okay? Yung based po sa ating illustration, klase ng 4-band resistor. Again, 4-band resistor po ito. Yung first band or yung band A po natin, yan po yung first digit. Okay? May mga equivalent po yan. Okay? Yung band B, ito po yung second band natin. Ito po ay second digit. And of course, yung benzene natin dito, ito po yung multiplier. And of course, lastly, yan po yung tinatawag natin na tolerance. Okay? Usually po sa ating resistor, kapag tolerance po, if we're talking about tolerance, usually dalawa lang po yan. It's either gold or silver. Again, gold or silver, yan lang po yung kadalasan na makikita po natin sa ating color code no, ng ating resistor. So meron tayong tanong dito. Item number 22, a resistor has the following color bands. Tandaan po, may mga color bands po siya. Unang-una is yung red, brown, and gold. What is the resistance value of the resistors? Tandaan natin, again, apat lang po yung colors dito. So it means ito po ay klase ng 4-band resistor. Again, yung unang color po is red, the next followed by red, and of course, brown, and lastly, gold. Ano po ito? Ano po yung resistance value nito? Is that A, 220 ohms with 5% tolerance. Letter B, 220 ohms with 10% tolerance. Letter C, 2,200 ohms with 5% tolerance. O letter D, 2,200 ohms with 10% tolerance. Ano po yung tamang sagot? Ang daming sumasagot ng letter A. Tama po ba yung letter A? Okay. So let's reveal ang tamang sagot for item number 22. Ay, walang iba kundi yung letter A, yung 220 ohms po natin. Okay, paano po natin siya nakuha? Unang-una po, ito po yung gagamitin nating table, no? Para ma-identify po natin yung mga values nila. Okay, tandaan po yung given natin kanina, yung red. Okay, tandaan po, red. Okay, ano po yung value ng red natin? 2. Okay, lagay po dyan, 2. Okay, lagay po natin dyan, 2. Okay, pangit naman ng chocolate. Next one is followed by another red. Okay, ano din po yung second band natin? Again, red po siya. Yung value niya is 2 again. Okay, that's another 2. And of course, followed by our brown. Yung brown po natin, that serves as our multiplier. Okay, ano po yung value ng brown natin dito? That is 10. Okay, so of course, yung 22 natin, okay, yung 22 natin dito, i-multiply po natin yan sa 10. Okay, 22 times 10, and that gives us 220. Then, 220, okay, lalagay po natin 220 ohms dito. Okay, ito po yung symbol, no? Yung omega na symbol. Yan po yung nagde-denote ng ating tawag dito, yung resistance. Alright? And of course, yung last color natin dito, yung last band is yung tolerance or yung gold. Ano po yung value ng gold natin dito? That's 5%. Okay? Of course, lalagyan lang po natin yan ng plus minus. Okay? Plus minus 5%. Okay? Tandaan po, yan po yung tolerance value ng ating gold. Tandaan again, sa ating resistor, kadalasan po is gold at saka silver lang po yung sa kadalasan na makikita natin sa tolerance na color. Okay? Sana nakuha po. Let's reveal, of course, 220 ohms with 5% tolerance po yung value ng red, brown, gold na ating resistor. Okay? Of course, medyo may pagkahirap po ito no na i-memorize kapag ganito po, di ba? Kapag tinanong po tayo sa actual board examination, kapag ano po yung value, let's say for example, di ba? Ano po yung value ng red, brown, gold na resistors, medyo may pagkamahirap po. So of course, hindi po pwede na hindi po natin alam yung mnemonics dito. Sige nga po, pakilapag po yung ano po ba yung mga mnemonics ninyo. Sa akin, of course, unang-una po is kukunin po natin yung mga letters, no? Ng mga first letters ng mga bawat colors dito. Of course, yung B, at saka followed by B dito, yung R, at saka yung O, at saka yung Y, di ba? Yung mga first letters, yun, kukunin po natin yan. And of course, para mas ma-memorya po natin, yung mnemonics po dyan is, tandaan po, bad boys, rape our young girl, but Violetta gave willingly. Again, naan po, medyo maselan po siya, no? Pero at least, memorya po natin. Okay? Unang-una, bad boy raped our uh, young girl, but Violetta gave willingly. Yan po yung mnemonics dyan para mas ma-memorya po natin. And of course, followed by GS na lang. Okay, GS, gold and silver. Yan po yung ating tolerance. Itandaan po yung mga colors natin. Black, yung first band po, yung kanyang value, and start po sa 0, okay? Of course, from 0, that's until 9. Yung second band, of course, same din po dyan. Minsan, meron ding 5-band resistor, no? Nagkakaroon din po ng third band dito. Of course, similar din po, no? Same lang po yung mga values nila dito. It starts from 0 and it ends with 9 here. Of course, yung third band natin dito, kasi nga po 4 band ito, nagsa-start po siya sa times 1. Yun po yung ating multiplier. And of course, go for band tolerance. Again, don't worry kasi kadalasan gold at saka silver lang po yung ginagamit. Alright, that's item number 22. So the best option there would be letter A, yung 220 ohms with 5% tolerance po. Okay, so na nakuha? That's item number 22. We go to ano po ba yung mga mnemonic nyo dyan? Black boy rape one young girl, but Violetta gave willingly because of gold and silver. Yes, pwede po, no? Because of gold and silver. Alright? Sana nakuha po. Yan po yung mga mnemonics natin dyan para mas ma-memorya, mas maalala po natin, no? Yung color banding po natin dito or yung ating table. Yan. Alright. Congratulations po sa lahat na nasagot ng letter A. Okay, we go to item number 23. What the color bands on a resistor indicate? Again, color bands. Ano po ito? Is that A, the power rating of the resistor? Letter B, the resistance value and tolerance. Letter C, the material composition of the resistor. O letter D, maximum voltage of the resistor can handle. Ano po ito yung tamang sagot? Item number 23, what is your correct choice? Pakilapag po sa ating comment section. Pakilapag po. What is your correct choice? Of course, item number 23, wag na po natin patagalin. Po, yung color bands natin, no, on a resistor, represent po, no, a coded system that indicates its resistance value, usually measured, no, in ohms or yung omega, di ba natin? And tolerance, the percentage of variation from the specified value. Yan po yung letter B. Color bands, of course, resistance value and tolerance. Yung letter A, C, at saka D natin dito, of course, distractors lang po sila. Okay? Letter B po yung tamang sagot. We go to item number 24. Which tool is used to loosen, loosen or tighten screws? Is that A, screwdriver? Letter B, hammer? Letter C, pliers? O letter D, strippers? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Item number 24. I see a lot of letter A's. Tama po ba yung letter A? Screwdriver po ba? Loosen or tighten screws? So obviously, yung tamang sagot is letter A, yung screwdriver. Kasi nga po nandito na screws, di ba? Yung tamang sagot, it's letter A. Okay, what about the rest of our options? Pag sinabi nating hammer, ito po yung ginagamit natin, no? For driving nails. Again, for driving nails or breaking objects, ito po yung hammer. Pag sinabi naman nating pliers, ito po yung ginagamit natin, no? For gripping, twisting, and or cutting wires. Again, yan po ang ating pliers. Pag sinabi naman nating strippers, ito naman po yung ginagamit natin no, sa pag-remove ng insulation ng ating electrical wiring or mga electrical wires, cables, or saka yung mga conductors natin. Yan po yung strippers. Okay, so we're looking for loosen or tighten screws. So obviously, that is letter A, screwdriver po yung tamang sagot. What about here? 25. Which instrument is used to measure, again, measure voltage, resistance, and current? Ano po ito? Is it A, voltmeter? Letter B, ammeter? Letter C, clamp ammeter? O letter D, multitester? Ano po ito? Kumbaga, hindi lang po isa yung mini-measure niya. So, mini-measure din po niya yung voltage, yung resistance, and even po yung current. Ano po ito? Voltmeter po ba? Letter B, ammeter? Letter C, clamp ammeter? O letter D, multitester? Ano po yung tamang sagot? I see a lot of letter Ds. Tama po ba yung letter D? Alright. So let's reveal ang tamang sagot po dito for item number 25 ay walang iba kundi yung letter G, yung multitester po natin. Again, multitester po yung tamang sagot. Ito din po yung tinatawag natin na multimeter, no? Multimeter or multitester, isa lang po sila. Kumbaga, ito po ay klase ng instrument, no? That can measure voltage or yung volts natin, yung current or yung amperes, di ba? In resistance po or yung ohms in electrical circuits. Kumbaga, ito po ay widely used for troubleshooting and testing electronic components. Pag sinabi nating voltmeter, tanan po, voltmeter, ito lang po yung ginagamit natin, no? To measure voltage. Again, measure voltage, yan po yung voltmeter. Pag sinabi nating ginagamit natin no, to measure current, of course, yan po yung ammeter. Yung letter C naman, yung clamp ammeter, of course, katulad din po ng ammeter natin dito, nag-measure din po siya ng current, no? Especially po no, in high current in live wires, yan po yung clamp ammeter natin. So, of course, we're looking for something na kayang-kaya po no, na i-measure yung voltage, resistance, and current. So the best option here would be letter D, multitester. Multi means many. Okay? So na nakuha, that's item number 25. Letter D po yung tamang sagot. Okay. Next one here. Alright, nandito na po tayo sa tools and materials. Okay, ano po ba yung mga klase ng tools at saka yung materials na ginagamit natin sa pag-i-install ng ating mga uh, electrical conductors no, or mga cables po natin at saka po sa pag even po na troubleshoot no ng ating mga cables diyan. Ano po ito? Okay, unang-una po, we have here, past drills po ito. Sagot lang po kayo ng sagot sa ating comment section. Kahit mali po, wala pong problema. Okay, unang-una, use to loosen or tighten screws. Ano po ito? Again, use to loosen or tighten screws. Ito po ay yung tinatawag natin na screwdrivers. Again, ito po ay screwdrivers. Next one, resembles negative sign. Again, nagre-resemble po siya ng negative sign. Nagda-drive din po siya no, ng single slatted screw head. Ano po ito? Slatted screw head. Ano po ito? Is it? Ano po ito? Ito po yung flat screwdriver. Again, flat screwdriver. Nagre-resemble po siya ng negative sign. Next one here. Short shank or blade. Okay, nagtuturn po siya ng screws with limited spaces. Again, short shank or blade. Ano po ito? Ito po ay yung tinatawag natin na stubby screwdriver. Again, stubby screwdriver. Next one here, cross tip. Again, cross tip. Kabaliktaran din po siya no, ng ating flat, di ba? Flat or yung negative. Ito po ay nagre-resemble ng positive sign. Again, nagre-resemble po siya ng positive sign. Ginagamit din po siya natin no, to drive cross-slatted screw head. Ano po ito? Ito po yung tinatawag natin na Phillips. Again, Phillips screwdriver. Again, Phillips screwdriver po yan. Next one here, it drives screw with hexagonal slot. Again, pag ginagamit po siya natin no, in drive screw with hexagonal slot, ito po yung tinatawag natin na Allen wrench. Again, Allen wrench po yan. Next one here, used to gently tap or adjust electrical components. Again, ginagamit po siya natin no, to gently tap or adjust electrical components. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na rubber mallet. Again, rubber mallet po yan. Next one here, remove nails or screws that need to be replaced or repositioned. Okay, sino pa? Sinasabi ko talaga 'no, kapag may nagkamali pa talaga dito, okay? Ito po yung ginagamit natin 'no, to remove nails or screws that need to be replaced or repositioned. Okay, ano po ba ito? Ito po yung tinatawag natin na claw hammer. Again, yan po yung claw hammer natin. Next one here, used in heavy-duty tasks. Ginagamit po siya natin no, in heavy-duty tasks. Designed for gripping, tanan po, gripping, holding, and even po no, sa pagkakayat ng ating wires. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na, ito po ay combinational pliers. Again, combinational pliers po yan. Next one, used for cutting wires. Tandaan po, ginagamit po siya natin no, sa pagka-cut di ba, ng ating mga wires and cables for various sizes. Ito po ay tinatawag nating side cutting pliers. Again, for cutting, di ba? For cutting wires, ito po yung side cutting pliers. Next one here, used for cutting and holding fine wires. Again, cutting and holding fine wires. It can access tight spaces, di ba? Pwede po siya gamitin, no? In tight spaces or yung limited lang po yung spaces. And even po, no? Sa mga small openings. Ano po ito? Ito po yung tinatawag natin na long nose pliers. Again, long nose pliers. Yan po yan. Next one here. Designed po ito, no? Nag-typo lang po. Designed for stripping wire insulations. Again, nagamit po siya natin no, for stripping wire insulations. Ito po ay tinatawag nating wire strippers. Again, stripping, di ba? Stripping, it means yan po ay wire strippers. Tandaan po yung mga itsura nila, no? Ito din po yung game, di ba? Yung laro ni PRC kasi nga po, we have to master even po yung mga illustrations kasi naglalagay din po sila sa actual board examination. Next one here, provides convenient and safe surface. Tanong po, nagpo-provide po siya ng convenient and even safe surface no, of electrical power for various appliances that require electricity. Ano po ito? Ano po ito? Ano po ba yung tawag dito? Naduduli na po ba kayo? Sige lang po. Kahit mali po, it's okay. Okay, ito po yung tinatawag natin na convenience outlet. Again, convenience po, nagpo-provide po siya ng convenient and safe service no, of electrical power for various appliances and required electricity. Okay, di ba may dalawa tayo convenience outlet, yun yung flash type, no? Tsaka yung isa, ano po ba yung tawag doon? Yung mounted, di ba? Yan po yung ating convenience outlet. Alright, sana nakuha po. Next one here, a safety device that prevents electrical overloads and short circuits. Ano po ito? Ano po bang klaseng device ito? Ano po bang klaseng device ito na nagpe-prevent po siya no, ng electrical overloads and even po no, short circuits. Ano po ito? Ito po yung tinatawag natin na fuse. Again, fuse po ito. Yes, tama po yan sa ating convenience outlet. May dalawa po, no? Yun po yung flash at saka yung mounted. Okay? Next one here. It is where connections and joints of wires are being done. Tandaan po, no? Baka lumabas din po ito, no? Joints of wires are being done. Ano po ito? Yung may pagka octagon, di ba? Octagon po yung shape niya. It has 8 sides, di ba? Ito ba yung tinatawag natin na walang iba? Ito po ay yung junction box. Again, junction box po ito. Next one here, a rectangular shape, metallic or plastic material in which flash type of convenience outlet and switch are attached. Okay, dito po ina-attach yung mga outlet switch, no? Ano po ito? Ito po ay, again, natawag na utility box. Again, ito po ay utility box. Okay, so pwede po no, sa ating utility box, pwede po siyang maging plastic. Okay, pwede din po siyang metal. Yan po ang ating utility box. Next one here. Utilized to open or close the path of electrical currents in a circuit. Again, ginagamit po siya natin no, to open or close the path of electrical currents in a circuit. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na, of course, very easy. Ito po ay yung switch. Okay? Pag sinabi po natin open, again, kapag open po yung circuit, ito po yung pag sinabi natin open. Pag sinabi naman natin close, so it means, di ba, may flow, di ba, ng electric current. Yan po yung pag sinabi natin closed circuit. So of course, we're talking about here, yung ginagamit natin, yung device na ginagamit natin no, to open or close the path, ito po yung switch. Okay, next one here. Inserted into a convenience outlet to facilitate the flow of electric current. Ito po ay ginagamit natin no, to insert, again, and then po, insert into a convenience outlet to facilitate the flow of electric current. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na, nanon po, ito po ay yung male plug. Again, male plug po yung tamang sagot. Next one here, automatically cuts the current when short circuit or overload occurs. Again, automatically po, no, nagtitrip po siya or nagka-cut po siya ng current when short circuit or overload occurs. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na, ito po ay walang iba kundi yung circuit breaker. Again, circuit breaker po yan. So may mga klase, no, or may mga types po ng mga switches, yung may mga circuit breakers po natin. But then, hayaan na po natin yan sa mga electrical majors. Okay? Medyo may pagkamalalim na po kapag nag-deal pa po natin, i-deal pa po natin. Okay? Yan po yung ating circuit breaker. Automatically cuts the current with short circuit or overloaded coolers. Okay? Saan na nakuha? And of course, meron tayo dito, used to measure voltage, resistance, and current in a circuit. As what we have discussed a while ago, ito po ay, again, ginagamit po siya natin no, to measure voltage, resistance, and current. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na multitester. Again, multitester to yung tamang sagot. Okay, sana nakaya po natin. Yan po yung pastorals. Alright, we go to item number 26. Item number 26 here. What is the process, the non-bulk process of removing heat from an enclosed space or substance to lower its temperature? Okay, nag-lower po yung temperature. Is that A, compressor? Letter B, refrigeration? Letter C, ventilation? O letter D, heating? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Ito po ay ating QOTD, no? Or yung question of the day natin kanina. Ano po ba yung tamang sagot dito? Okay. Okay, reveal po. Ano po yung tamang sagot for item number 20? Alright, so let's reveal ang tamang sagot for kundi yung letter B, yung refrigeration po. Again, refrigeration po yung tamang sagot. Pag sinabi natin compressor, ito po ay component lamang. Okay, component lamang po ng ating refrigeration system. Diba? Pag sinabi naman natin ventilation, ito po ay, no, it refers to the movement of air, no, but does not necessarily lower the temperature. Yan po yung ating ventilation. Yung heating naman po, okay, so obviously, kabaliktaran po talaga, di ba? Ay, pag sinabi dito, yung lower its temperature. Yung heating po dito, nag-i-increase po siya ng temperature. So, ikis po talaga yung reality. Right? So, the best option here for item number 26, walang iba kundi yung refrigeration. With removing heat, di ba? Lower temperature. So, the best option here would be letter B, refrigeration po. We go to item number 27. Okay, makinig po ng mabuti. Ito po ay, which one does not belong to the group? Is that A, compressor, letter B, condenser, letter C, evaporator, or letter D, vent? Okay, we're looking for an exception. Ano po yung tamang sagot? Ano po yung hindi kabilang dito? Is it A, compressor, letter B, condenser, letter C, evaporator, letter D, vent? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Pakilapag po. We're looking for an exception. All right, so let's reveal. Huwag na po natin patagalin the best option for item number 27. Ay, walang iba kundi yung letter D, yung vent po. Okay, tandaan po. Yan po yung vent, no? Exception. We're looking for an exception. So the best option here would be letter D, yung vent po. Okay? Tandaan yung vent po, ito po yung ginagamit natin no, for air circulation. And of course, does not play a direct role in refrigeration cycle. Yan po yung vent. Tandaan po natin no, sa ating refrigeration cycle, may mga terms po tayo or terminologies na kailangan na tandaan. Yung unang-una po is yung refrigerant. Ano po ba yung refrigerant? Ito po yung refrigerant. Okay? Ano po ba yung refrigerant? Ito po yung chemical substance, no, na nag-absorb ng heat from one place and releases it to another. Tandaan po, gas, vapor, and liquid. Ito po yung changing of state, no, within the refrigerant that produces the refrigeration effect and is the main principle of the refrigeration cycle. Yan po yung ating refrigerant. Of course, unang-una magsa-start po yung ating cycle from our compressor, 'di ba? Ano po ba yung compressor natin? Ito po yung nag-i-increase, no, ng pressure of the refrigerant to facilitate heat transfer, 'di ba? Tandaan po, pag sinabi nating compressor, it can be thought, 'di ba, as the heart of the process. Tandaan po, compressor, ito po yung heart of the process. Kumbaga, ito po ay nagsiserve, o 'di ba, or no, yeah, nagsiserve as a pump, no, to create the circulation by compressing the refrigerant gas. Okay, nagka-create po ng pressure difference that drives the refrigerant around the circuit in a continuous cycle. Yan po yung purpose ng ating compressor. The next one here, of course, from our compressor, magpo-proceed po yung refrigerant natin sa tinatawag natin na condenser. Okay? Ano po yung purpose ng ating condenser? Ito po ay nagre-release ng heat and converts yung ating refrigerant from a gas to a liquid. Again, from a gas to a liquid, yan, dyan po nag-happen sa ating condenser. Tandaan po, yung condenser po natin, ito po ay nag-cool and condenses, no? Our refrigerant gas coming from the compressor into a vapor and finally into a liquid. Okay, from vapor, i-convert niya po into liquid. Diyan po yung nangyayari, okay, sa ating condenser. The next one here, from our condenser, magpo-proceed po yung refrigerant natin going to our restriction. Okay, ano po yung purpose ng ating restriction here? Of course, from the word itself, restriction, nagre-restrict po siya, no, ng liquid refrigerant flow and creates a pressure difference between itself and the evaporator. Kumbaga, yung ating restriction dito is more commonly referred, no, as a metering device. Tandaan, metering device po siya kasi nga po ito ay meter, di ba, ng amount of refrigerant bago po mag-enter sa ating evaporator. Yan po yung ating purpose po ng ating restriction. And of course here, the next one here, after ng ating restriction, ito po yung tinatawag natin na evaporator. Tandaan po, yung purpose ng ating evaporator, nag-absorb po siya ng heat, no, from the surroundings, di ba? Cooling the space, yan po yung evaporator natin. Kumbaga, ina-evaporate po niya yun, the liquid refrigerant, ito a vapor, and then into a gas before it gets back po sa ating compressor. And of course, yung cycle ay magre-repeat lang po yan. Yan po yung ating refrigerant cycle. Compressor, yung condenser po natin, yung ating restriction, and of course, our evaporator. Or of course, matapos sa ating evaporator, babalik din po again sa ating compressor, cycle lang po. Pabalik-balik lang. Yan po yung ating refrigeration cycle. Sana nakuha? That's item number 27. Of course, we're looking for an exception. So the best option here would be letter D, yung vent po. Paki-screenshot, ito po yung ating refrigeration cycle. We go to item number 28. A thin walled tubing, tandaan po, thin walled tubing used in refrigeration and air conditioning, similar in size to copper tubing, allowing connections with flare or silver brace joints. Is that A, steel tubing? Letter B, aluminum tubing. Letter C, soft copper tubing. O letter D, hard-drawn copper tubing. Ano po yung tamang sagot? Item number 28, what is your correct choice? Item number 28, ano po yung tamang sagot? I see letter C. Tama po ba yung letter C? Letter A, meron ding letter A, merong letter C. Okay. Kadalasan po, no, ito po yung klase ng mga tanong na knowledge base, okay? So we just have to familiarize, okay? Familiarize. So medyo imemoryado na lang po natin kapag ganito po yung tanong, right? Merong sumasagot ng letter A, meron ding letter C, tama po ba 'yan? Mhm. Wag na po nating patagalin. The best option here for item number 28 ay walang iba kundi yung letter A, yung steel tubing po natin. Okay? Tandaan po, yung ibang option natin dito, pag sinabi niya kasi nating aluminum tubing, ito po ay usually no, ginagamit natin no, for evaporating units in air conditioning, di ba? Kadalasan po sa ating home and even po no, sa ating mga automobile, okay? Commonly ginagamit po no, for evaporator, most especially sa ating freezer of the domestic refrigerators. Yan po yung ating aluminum tubing. Pag sinabi nating soft copper, ito po ay ginagamit, 'di ba? Sa ating domestic and some commercial refrigeration and even po no sa ating air conditioning work because tandaan po kapag sinabi natin soft copper tubing, ito po ay easy to bend. Again, easy po siyang i-bend at saka i-flare. Yan po yung ating soft copper tubing. Pag sinabi naman nating hard drawn copper tubing, similar din po siya no sa ating soft copper tubing. But then the difference here. Okay, so the difference here for our soft copper at saka yung hard drawn copper natin, eh, kumbaga, hard, di ba? Hard being hard and stiff po yung ating letter G natin dito. Kumbaga, it needs a few clamps to support it in installation. So, of course, we're looking for thin walled tubing here. So, the best option here would be letter A, yung steel tubing po. Okay, memorya na lang po natin. Number 28, letter A po yung tamang sagot, steel tubing. We go to item number 29. Okay, ito po. What is the primary function of the compressor in an air conditioning system? Ano po ba yung main purpose or yung primary function ng ating compressor? Is that A, to circulate the refrigerant through the system? Letter B, to subserve heat from the air. Letter C, to convert refrigerant from gas to liquid. Or letter D, to filter out impurities in the air. Ano po yung tamang sagot? Pakilapag, ano po yung tamang sagot for item number 29? Mhm. Okay, so let's reveal ang tamang sagot for item number 29 ay walang iba kundi yung letter A. Ito po yung pagsi-circulate, 'di ba, ng ating refrigerant through the system. Okay, tandaan po again yung ating compressor po, ito po ay heart, 'di ba? Heart of an air conditioning system. Okay, responsible po siya no for circulating refrigerant throughout the system by compressing it into a high pressure, high temperature gas. Kumbaga, ito po ay nag-enable no the refrigerant to release heat in the condenser and of course absorb heat in the evaporator. Diba? Nagpa-facilitate po siya ng cooling process. Yan po yung ating, if we're talking about compressor. Of course, yung ibang options natin dito, yung letter B, it absorb heat from the air. Ito po ay role ng ating evaporator. Okay? Yung letter C naman, ito po ay nangyayari sa ating condenser, hindi po siya sa ating compressor. Yung letter G naman to filter out impurities, of course, ito po ay trabaho ng ating air filters, di ba? So the best option here for compressor, letter A po yung tamang sagot. Circulate the refrigerant through the system. Letter A po yung tamang sagot. We go to the last question here, item number 13. When troubleshooting an air conditioner, which tool is used for working with hex? Again, ano po ba yung gagamitin natin if we are dealing with hexed head bolts, nuts, and even po no, sa ating mga screws. Ano po ito? Is that A, stop driver? Letter B, open wrench? Letter C, slip joint pliers? O letter D, pipe wrench? Ano po yung tamang sagot? Item number 30, what is the correct choice? Ang daming sumasagot ng letter B. Tama po ba yung letter B? Okay, more answers please. Ang daming sumasagot ng letter B. Tama po ba yung letter B? Okay, so let's reveal ang tamang sagot for item number 30. Ay walang iba kundi yung magdiwang po lahat na nasagot ng letter P. Yan po yung open wrench natin, okay? Tandaan po, yung ating stop driver dito, ito po ay klase or type ng ating screwdriver. Hindi po siya pwede or applicable po, no? When it comes to working with hex head bolts, nuts, and screws, di ba? Yung letter C naman, yung slip joint pliers natin, ito po yung ginagamit natin, no, for gripping, twisting, or bending. Yan po yung ating slip joint pliers. Pag sinabi naman natin pipe wrench, of course, ito po ay uh, design, no, for working with pipes and plumbing. Okay, hindi po siya standard, no, for bolts or screws. Of course, we're talking about here, ano po bang klaseng tool na pwedeng gamitin po, no, when it comes to working with hex and bolts, nuts, and screws. So the best option here would be letter B, yung open wrench po. Again, letter B po yung tamang sagot for item number 30. Ano po ba yung itsura ng open wrench? Ito po siya. Okay? Ito po yung itsura ng ating open wrench. That's our item number 30 and of course our last item for tonight. Okay, so bago po tayo tapos or mag-separate ways po, I would like to leave you a quote, no, or Bible verse from our Holy Bible. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. That's from the book of Isaiah, no, 60:22. Okay, ito po yung klase ng verse na pinaghugutan ko po talaga during my review season. Okay? Kapag para po talaga sa iyo, para po talaga sa inyo yan. Okay? Yan po ay promise ni Lord para sa atin. And of course, be positive, okay? Puspusan po, okay? Gamitin po, i-maximize po yung mga re-remain pa ng mga araw bago po yung board examination. Wag pong paghinaan ng loob. And of course, limit po natin yung mga sarili natin, no, from any form of distractions, okay? And of course, alam ko, medyo nakaka-pressure, okay? Ang dami pang aaralin, but then, um, gaya po ng uh, sabi dito, no, sa ating verse, when the time is right, no, si Lord na po yung bahala. Siya na po yung may alam sa ating desire po. Okay, and of course, that desire is to have our license, and of course, to become the first license holder in our family. Okay, so that would be all, teachers. Thank you so much for participating in our live discussions tonight. Okay, and may God bless us all. Thank you so much.